It is my 50th birthday. Woo! To celebrate, I'm going to walk 50 kilometers today, but I'm not in the woods. Where am I going to walk today? Stay tuned and find out. That's right, I am in downtown Minneapolis, right outside of Target Field, the home of the Minnesota Twins. In just 2 weeks, the Twins are going to start playing baseball here with a partial audience, and people are going to be allowed back in. So on this trip, I'm going to be walking 50 kilometers. This is what I call as an urban hike. I'm going to be walking through Minneapolis, through St. Paul, seeing all sorts of landmarks, like Harmon Killebrew here. All sorts of landmarks within the Twin Cities, as well as a lot of my walk will be along the Mississippi River. So I'll get that mix of urban sites as well as some nature as I walk along the river. So it's about 34 degrees today, a high of 44, 45, and it's supposed to be beautiful weather. So I am all geared up. Let's go. Located here behind me is First Avenue nightclub, made famous by Prince and all sorts of other famous acts. Continuing along on my walk here, you'll see behind me is the Target Center. The Target Center is the home of the Minnesota Timberwolves, the NBA franchise here in Minneapolis, as well as the Minnesota Lynx. The Minnesota Lynx are the professional women's basketball team. They are much better and much more successful than the Timberwolves, but someday we're going to be there. I'm walking down Nicollet Mall. Nicollet Mall is kind of the pedestrian hub of downtown Minneapolis, where before the pandemic and everybody was working down here, this was a really bustling place. So now it's 6:45 on a Sunday morning, but this place is pretty vacant, and I guess it's kind of been this way ever since the pandemic and the George Floyd killing and all the riots and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, hopefully it'll get back to normal here sometime. I've come to the Hennepin County Government Center. In just over 24 hours, this is where Derek Showman will be on trial for the murder of George Floyd. Now, I am not going to make any political statements here. Hopefully it's a fair trial and everything goes all right. You'll see behind me, NBC is set up here for covering the news. I just pray that everything will, the justice system will prevail and do what it's supposed to do, and hopefully it won't be too controversial. No matter what the verdict is, people are going to be unhappy. So I just hope that there'll be healing and we can move on. I am walking in front of the Government Center, the Government Plaza. You can see how everything's boarded up, ready for civil unrest and potential rioting. Over here you can see the Hennepin County Government Center behind me. So there's a big area here, and I can almost guarantee this is where demonstrations will happen, and hopefully they will be peaceful. But this time tomorrow, this is going to be an active place down here. Behind me is US Bank Stadium, home of the Minnesota Vikings, one of the most historic franchises in any sport that has yet to win a Super Bowl. We've been there 4 times, never crossed the finish line, as my friends from Wisconsin and Green Bay like to remind us. sun's coming up. It's going to be a beautiful day. I finally made it down to the river. The sun is coming up. You see behind me part of the historic Mill City area where Pillsbury is really prevalent down here and made a great big impact on the city. You see behind me here, there's the ruins of an old building from that area, and there's a nice museum in there. Behind me here is the iconic Stone Arch Bridge, which is just closed off for pedestrian traffic, and it's quite popular, and you'll see that video used on a lot of national sporting events and different things when they're showing off the city. On the other side of it over there is a dam. You can kind of see the rapids through there, but it's just beautiful. Behind me is the 35W bridge. Now in 2007, there was a different bridge here that collapsed right in the middle of rush hour. A bunch of people were trapped, a bunch of people were killed. It was a very sad day, but they built this new bridge in record time because this is one of the main corridors to downtown Minneapolis. Behind me here is the University of Minnesota campus. And you will see that there is a bridge that crosses over the river, a pedestrian bridge. It also has a light rail and buses go across it. The reason is the other side is Minneapolis, as well as there are more campus buildings over on this side of the river. To Ford Parkway, and I am crossing over the Mississippi Bridge. So I am about 8 miles in, and some of you may be asking, why aren't you hiking out in the woods? Well, it's the end of March. The closest long trail that I know is Superior Hiking Trail, and in March, Superior Hiking Trail is still icy. It's still terrible. So I could walk around in hoops at a state park down here, but that doesn't sound like much fun. So I mapped out this urban adventure, and it's a little bit more stimulating to walk by new things that you don't see every day. Now, I do see things that when you're driving by in your car, it's a lot different when you're only walking 3 miles per hour and you can see things up front. So I walked down the St. Paul side of the Mississippi River for a couple miles, and now I veered off onto Summit Avenue. Summit Avenue is a historic avenue going through St. Paul. A lot of big old historic houses. There are a lot of nice houses along the Mississippi River, of course. But I saw a lot of people out walking, running, biking, taking advantage of this nice day here. And the problem with that is when you're on these urban hikes, sometimes it's hard to find a place to pee without looking like a perv. So I was able to do that. Feeling good. Probably about a third of the way down with the hike here. I'm walking by St. Thomas University right now. St. Paul and Minneapolis have just a ton of little private colleges, big universities, technical colleges. But I think I'm going to walk by 3 or 4 of these private universities that have really nice campuses. Located along Summit Avenue is also the governor's residence, which is the Minnesota version of the White House. You can see there's a state patrol back there. Back for security, because this is a hotbed for where people demonstrate, especially during COVID, for Trump people, and for George Floyd. I guarantee that there's going to be demonstrations right where I'm standing within the next week or 2. So, executive mansion. So I work for the state of Minnesota. So I guess that's my boss's house. It's a beautiful day out. Summit Avenue, you're going up a gradual incline the whole time, and I've gotten to the top of the hill, and on the top of the hill here is the St. Paul Cathedral. A beautiful building. It sounds like church just got out, but just a beautiful old building up on top of a hill, so you can see it for miles. And speaking of seeing for miles, in the distance, you can see the Minnesota State Capitol, which is where I'm headed towards. So as I walk down the hill in front of the cathedral here, I can see St. Paul in the background there. And this gives me flashbacks because this is the final stretch for the Twin Cities Marathon. It's probably been 10 years since I ran it, but I can still remember coming down this hill, giving it all I got after 26.2 miles to the finish line right up here. It was my PR actually of 3 hours and 58 minutes. I don't know if I could still run it that fast now, but I gotta be happy at 50 years old. I'm at the lowest weight I've probably been in 25 years, and probably the highest fitness level, and just my physical and mental health is probably as good as it's been in a really long time. I'm passing over Interstate 94. I don't know, it runs from Chicago up to North Dakota. Well, I've made it up to the state capitol area. Behind me is the building that the Department of Transportation's out of. Over here is the SOB building. So that's where all the politicians are. State office building. Not what you may be thinking. And across the street here is the state capitol. So I'm gonna head back down through downtown St. Paul, cross back over the river, and keep on going. I'm into downtown St. Paul now, and behind me here is the Fitzgerald Theater, which is in a little bit of disrepair now, but it is famous for being the home of Prairie Home Companion, starring Garrison Keillor, before he got Me Too'd. I'm passing by Mickey's Diner, an iconic little diner in downtown St. Paul here. Looks like it's closed up for the pandemic. Hopefully they'll reopen. I've come to the XL Energy Center. The XL is the home of the Minnesota Wild, and actually this week it is home to the Minnesota State Hockey Tournament. you're unfamiliar, Minnesota is the state of hockey. It's a very popular sport up here. I myself have never played it. I'm more of a basketball guy. I am leaving downtown St. Paul now. That building right there with the 1 on it is the First National Bank building. That is where I have worked for the past 15 years. Over the last year, I've been working from home. You know what? I like working at home a lot better than driving down here. So some good things have come out of the pandemic. Hopefully that working from home will be permanent. But I am crossing right now, again, the Mississippi River. I'll give you a look here. It's kind of windy up here. I hope you can still hear me. I've come to a holiday. This is where I'm going to get lunch, get some salty, hot food. Now there's a Subway back there, there's a Burger King up here, but I'm not sure if I can actually get into the Burger King or if it's just drive-through only. So this will work out fine. I put my buff on for my face mask. Gonna head in, get some food, go to the bathroom. Today's meal of choice is jalapeno hot dog, chocolate chip cookies, and you didn't really think I'd go a whole trip without some Doritos, did ya? Woo, buddy! I'm walking down Cesar Chavez Boulevard, a mainly Hispanic neighborhood, low income. I've come to the El Burrito Mercado. El Burrito Mercado is a fabulous Mexican restaurant. And even though this is a low income Hispanic neighborhood, there's such a sense of community down here. And I remember a picture of this place when the riots were going on for George Floyd. There's a bunch of these badass Mexican guys down here standing in front of the building going, "You want this building, you're gonna have to come through us." It's pretty cool. I am 20 miles in, or 32 kilometers. I'm in South St. Paul. I just walked along Concord Avenue, which is just a street that's kind of dirty without a sidewalk for a couple miles. Crossing over a bridge here, going over a railroad. This is a pretty industrial town, but they've got a nice park up here and a nice bike trail that goes along the Mississippi River. So I'm going to get out to that and enjoy that, opposed to a crappy street with no sidewalk. I'm going to get philosophical here. This trail is a lot like life. You can focus on the things that maybe aren't as attractive, or you can focus on the things that are attractive. I choose to focus on these things. This here is why I came for my walk. It's a beautiful spring afternoon. Walking on a bike trail, I guess, but along the Mississippi River. Sun's out, got a nice breeze. Happy birthday. I am crossing the Mississippi River for the last time on this trip. I am on the Wakota Street Bridge, which is 494. I'm going to be crossing over into the city of Newport and heading back south. If you're ever in Newport, Minnesota, and want some really good chicken, Tanucci's. Tanucci's is the place to go. Really good roasted chicken. Sounds pretty good right now. Now, I've been on a diet for about, last few months. Only time I eat crappies is when I'm out on the trail. Secret, I don't eat Doritos except for when I'm backpacking. So I've been on this diet, did pretty good. Dropped from about 200 down to 175. But It's my birthday tonight. I'm gonna binge a little bit. I haven't quite decided where I want to go yet. Not really feeling it right now. I'm really not that hungry. I'm gonna get up here to a gas station again, and I'm going to grab something. I think I need some electrolytes. I think I need some sodium to keep myself from cramping. I am at about 40 kilometers. I have about 10 to go. My feet hurt. Now I'm not blistering, they're just from walking on pavement. And I don't typically blister when I'm walking out on a trail, but I found when I've done these urban hikes before that I get a blister right on the middle of the balls of my feet. So I put some Leuco tape on both my feet in that area. I'm doing pretty good there, but I'm gonna cross up over the highway on a bridge here and find probably a Gatorade and something. Got my Gatorade. Now I see this Burger King right here. It says it's open for carryout. The same Burger King I walked by last fall. And I wasn't overly pleased that it was drive-through only. But I'm gonna head in there and I'm gonna get a big French fry and probably a little cheeseburger. I got my French fries. I got my Gatorade. I got my bacon cheeseburger. My tummy's full. My legs are pretty darn sore. But I've got 5 miles to go, so I'm gonna put my head down, knock this thing out. Made it to the city of St. Paul Park. Just kind of passing by it. On my way home, I'm almost to the city of Cottage Grove, my hometown. Home sweet home, right? Still got 4 miles to go. Just came out of the gas station. My last stop for the day. Grabbed some brownie chocolate chip cookies. 2 miles to go. I've been rocking out to Metallica. Kind of makes me feel like kicking some ass. Okay, I'm about 2 blocks away from my house. This is about the end. So if you think that I'm 50, that means I'm old and I'm slowing down. Screw you. I'm gonna run the last 2 blocks. I'm not slowing down. Come hike with me sometime, bitch. I'm feeling good. 50, I'm just starting. What's your excuse for not getting out? Come on, man, get out here. As my good friend Backpacking with Jason says, you only got one life. Go live it. Hey, thanks for coming along. If you like this video, see this old man out hiking on the trail, hit subscribe. Hit that bell notification. Check me out on Instagram. Check me out on Facebook. Check out the merch on Teespring. We made it. We made it. That was fun. It's a good day. I'm not gonna do it again tomorrow though. Peace out.